Good evening. The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades. The time has now come for us all to do more. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
My name's Ollie. I front and own a band called the Walcott Band. We're a function band that tour around the UK, performing at casinos, holiday parks, hotels and similar venues like that.
My name's Molly. I'm an actor / creative collaborator. I make a lot of theatre and direct. I've had 2 shows on. My first was Womb Mates, which was about what life was like inside of the womb from a bit of a crazy perspective, physical theatre. That was on Alphabetti. And then my second was Barnacle Barbie, which was a one-woman show about the barnacle boxing industry. Since then, I've gone on to tour around Germany with White Horse Theatre, performing in theatre and education shows. Unfortunately, that was cut short due to coronavirus. I was also meant to move out to China at the beginning of the year to be an actor out there teaching, but unfortunately, again, due to the coronavirus, it's been cut short.
Music in particular I find so powerful that you can change somebody's mood from happy to depressed and the other way around simply by a song. And when you've got that effect on people and you see that effect on a big crowd, and you get people coming up at the end of the show saying that you've made their holiday or even their day or something like that, that to me is the biggest sort of incentive to keep doing what I do.
Art is important because it's around us every single day. So I think people forget that when you go home from work and it's been a stressful day and you sit down to watch Netflix or you play the radio in the car on the way home, that is an artist that's created that work. And without those artists, we don't get the downtime to relax. So especially with it being cut from schools at the moment, I think it's really, really important to just keep driving forward and creating, because if we don't, theatre especially what I'm in is going to end up dying out. We need to keep creating it, because without it, people don't have entertainment.
I would never consider myself an artist. Artist sounds like I know what I'm doing, and I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing any of the time. So I think musician sums it up a bit nicer. I know what I do. And I do what I know, and that's kind of like the top and bottom of it. I play music and I sing, and that's it.
My name is Daniel Redhead. I'm 26-year-old, and I'm an illustrator and practicing animator as well. A lot of the best examples of illustration and artwork and creative people comes from community, in a sense of sort of togetherness. The face-to-face interaction part of art and illustration is crucial really to communicating ideas best. I think with being in lockdown, it's made it a lot easier to be, like you're saying, like penned in and secretive and sort of struggle to share work with people as easily.
It gets you in this creative slump of, oh well, no matter what I make at the moment, where is it going to go? But I think it's affected, especially in Newcastle, the arts community hugely. Obviously all of our theatres have shut down, shows have been cancelled, and there's a huge group of creative people that are now unemployed and struggling.
We weren't particularly supported by the government at first because as far as they were concerned, we were still free to work. Only not all of the venues that we perform in were all shut down. So we were sort of in a bit of a catch-22 situation there. It was very sudden, and financially, particularly for the lads who were on a wage, it was pretty crippling. They've all ended up getting different jobs and working in Tesco's and places like that now, just to keep the mill running until we can get back to it. But in terms of getting back to it, I can't see it really being something that's going to happen in a hurry.
The government seem to, in my opinion, have just put us on the back burner, and creatives just aren't a thing at the moment. Like I say, they've announced theatres yesterday can now open, but no live performances. So actors still don't have jobs, musicians don't have jobs, etc.
You could do 2 parties over the weekend, and that would be like 11 hours a week and get paid a lot from them. And you still wouldn't be eligible for like a self-employed income support scheme or anything like that, you'd have to go straight up on a universal credit. A major week for me would be 3 DJ shifts, like on the regular. But then, if I was doing gigs during the week, I'd do a gig on Saturday, I'd do a gig on Sunday. So it would normally be like weekend stuff. It's been really, really hard. The first week of lockdown hit me hard. Like all of my gigs, I was watching my calendar just empty itself. Like with gigs postponing or even gigs cancelling. I got more gigs cancelled than I got postponed. So I went a big depression, very big depression. I wasn't leaving my house for weeks on end. I was getting very, very depressed about the situation. So it was sort of like, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. The only coping mechanism I had was surrounding myself with support.
I'm quite active in making sure that the people who are in my life are positive people, and I think it's something I learned a few years ago. I think it's quite easy to be dragged down by negativity.
Check in on your creative friends because we are struggling right now. For me, I've managed to pull myself out of that slump and realised it's just a bump in the road and I still want to be an actor, but I know a lot of people now will have just given up on that career and it's really, really sad.
I think the hardest thing has been the loss of momentum because I've worked so hard for so long, and I feel like this year was the 1 year that everything was kind of coming together. All of the pieces were in place, and then all just like that, it's all kind of fallen away from under. I use music as a crutch, and I use my bands as a crutch, and the shows as a crutch. So not having all of that and not having it so suddenly, we've all found really hard. The t-shirt with the girl and who's saying she's trying her best. And I feel like that kind of sums up everyone at the minute. We're all just trying our hardest.
With the way that pressure and the way that people work under pressure or don't work well under pressure, it's definitely come into more the forefront of people's minds. I think people have felt like the time we have is a little bit more precious than we maybe expected, and that creative communities are more important than ever in terms of feeling like we're part of something bigger than what we can see in front of us.
The second that all of this is over and there's kind of some form of normality back in my life, I'll be like, I did it, I got through it, it's fine.
I'm pretty proud to say that during this lockdown I have not asked the government for a single penny. That I've got off my big bum and I've made my money myself.
I'm quite grateful for the rest on my voice. Recording now, I find I'm hitting notes that I couldn't before because I've just had a bit of time to rest on it. It's been a great opportunity to work with other artists that you don't normally get the chance to do so. Without that, I'd have definitely gone crazy.
It's given me time to actually work on things. It's been character building for me and it's made me a stronger person. I've trained for 5 years to be an actor. It's what my heart's in. I've gone against everyone who said it's not a proper career. Why should I give up now because of a setback? Just remember that we are here and we want to work, and as soon as we can we will.